Sinéad O'Connor, a unique and immensely influential voice in the music world, tragically passed away July 26, 2023, in London at age 56. Known for her powerful vocals and unapologetic spirit, she left a profound impact on the industry and pop culture. Her life, despite the success she enjoyed, was marked by personal challenges, including childhood abuse, numerous headline-stealing controversies, and the heart-wrenching loss of her son Shane in 2022. Facts First presents Sinéad O'Connor suffered personal torture before her tragic death. Early hardships. Born in 1966 in Dublin, Ireland, Sinéad O'Connor's early journey was defined by adversity. Her parents' marriage disintegrated when she was a toddler, forcing a painful choice to live with her abusive father as the apparent lesser of two evils. But she soon found that emotional and physical cruelty became normalized horrors. As a battered child without security, O'Connor turned to rebellion and isolation. By age 15, her shoplifting and defiance resulted in nearly 18 months of incarceration in Ireland's Magdalene Laundries, institutions notorious for disciplining quote-unquote fallen girls through punitive work and penance. For the entirety of her incarceration, O'Connor remained confined within the laundry's walls, a phase she later contextualized as both petrifying and freeing. Though subjected to physical drudgery, prayer penalties, and further mistreatment by priests and nuns, she discovered inspiration in music. A sympathetic nun gifted a young O'Connor her first guitar, planting the seeds for channeling anguish into artistry. O'Connor's mother ran her household like a sadistic prison, doling out emotional cruelty, physical brutality, and the chronic trauma of navigating constant violence. After enduring 13 years of shocking treatment, O'Connor fled. Just 5 years later, her mother perished unexpectedly in an automobile accident. So by 18, O'Connor found herself alone and emotionally abandoned. Still coping with the betrayal of chronic childhood abuse, compounded by fresh grief over her mother's premature death. She sought catharsis in songwriting, issuing her premiere album, The Lion and the Cobra, in 1985, introducing the fiery voice and introspective lyricism which would become hallmarks. Skyrocketing to fame. After years harnessing childhood hardship through music, Sinéad O'Connor rapidly catapulted onto the global stage almost overnight in 1990. Her smash hit second album, I Do Not Want What I Haven't Got, was propelled internationally by chart-topping single Nothing Compares to You, a Prince-penned ballad she infused with haunting emotional intensity. As this anthemic breakup song topped charts worldwide, O'Connor was rocketed to meteoric fame barely into her 20s. Instantly a household name, she was wholly unprepared for such immediate and intense notoriety. Soon her defiant panache attracted as many headlines as her hit singles did. She gained particular infamy for attention-grabbing antics, breaching celebrity norms. Her infamous 1992 Saturday Night Live protest, tearing up an image of Pope John Paul II to condemn rampant church abuse, earned mass condemnation from devotees and boosters alike. But it bolstered her rebel reputation amongst youth who sensed authenticity in her outrage. Behind the scenes, her private realm grew increasingly chaotic. Just before her star turn, she had a son, Jake, with her first husband. But the pressures of young parenthood and fame eroded the marriage within a few years. By 25, postpartum depression, intense touring, and lingering childhood trauma had exhausted O'Connor's coping capacities. She turned to adrenaline-fueled risks, including an abruptly announced retirement from music in her mid-20s. By her early 30s, her career was erratically bouncing between euphoric highs and hopeless lows. Now, with two young children looking to her for stability, she was becoming known for her chaotic behavior and repeated hospitalizations. In the mid-90s, she was seen as a symbol of widespread fame, unconventional views, and strong feminism. But her precarious mental health was deteriorating rapidly out of public view. In her late 30s, escalating inner chaos culminated in a harrowing personal nadir, a suicide attempt stemming from profound post-pregnancy depression. This crisis resulted finally in a long-avoided bipolar diagnosis, explaining the erratic highs and lows. With extensive touring increasingly untenable, she settled into relative domesticity and recording, yet struggled to stabilize professionally or personally. The latter half of the 90s saw O'Connor involved in almost as many scandals as musical works. Tabloid reports suggested she was dealing with internal turmoil and isolation despite her enduring fame. While still revered by fans as a cultural figure, she was becoming tired, unwell, and dangerously disconnected. Final downward spiral. By the mid-2010s, a lifetime of trauma had exhausted her coping capabilities. Out of the mainstream spotlight, she drifted, isolated, and unanchored. She struggled with depression, bad relationships, and intensifying mental health crises. The deepest devastation struck in early 2022, when O'Connor's son Shane died unexpectedly by suicide at only 17. His premature death while under hospital supervision for self-harm utterly decimated the grieving mother. She was left inconsolable and racked by guilt. In Shane's absence, O'Connor's tenuous stability deteriorated as her support system collapsed. Anguished late-night Twitter outpourings depicted a mother self-isolating in grief, now contemplating her own oblivion. By 2023, cut off from family and burdened by Shane's death and her ongoing mental health struggles, O'Connor's public image became increasingly unstable. Middle-aged and emotionally neglected, her erratic social media posts took on a sense of finality. In one notable tweet, O'Connor spoke of, quote, living as an undead night creature adrift since her son's suicide, with music and motherhood no longer enough to sustain her fragile will to endure further pain. So in the early hours of a late January 2023 morning, Sinéad O'Connor's tortured journey through global fame and personal turmoil came to a sudden, tragic end by her own hand at 56. Once universally celebrated for her unparalleled vocal talents, she painfully faded from public life over her last decade. By choosing to escape early from years of emotional torment, she missed the chance for closure or dignified reflection on a dramatic life that encompassed soaring creative highs and wrenching personal lows. Her legacy is a powerful reminder of the transformative power of music and its ability to echo personal struggles. Her upcoming releases are awaited not just as new music, but as a continuation of a narrative that's been both inspiring and heartbreakingly real. Her story, told through her songs, remains a compelling account of an artist who faced life's storms with courage and honesty. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite memory of Sinéad O'Connor? Let us know in the comments section below.